In today's video, I'm going to be giving my own vehicle a full decontamination and polish, and follow that up with a coating on all the exterior surfaces of the car. Some of the products in this video have been sent to test out by the respective brands, and some have been purchased by myself, but all of which I'll be giving you my honest thoughts on them throughout the video. The first thing that I did on this car was clean the wheels, and I started by pre-washing them with a 1:20 mix of the Garage Therapy Decon shampoo in the IK sprayer. This is a chemical that you're going to be seeing me use a lot throughout this wash process, as it is very versatile. To actually contact clean these wheels, I again went in with the Garage Therapy Decon shampoo, but this time at a 1:25 ratio in the IK foamer, to give these wheels a really deep clean. Now these alloys are coated in Garage Therapy's Hades wheel coating, and it's coming up to the 1 year mark with that product, which is performing incredibly well so far. To pre-wash this car, I went in with that 1:20 mix of the Decon shampoo in the IK sprayer again on the lower sections where there was a little bit more mud splashed up, although some of that had been rinsed away whilst I'd been cleaning the wheels. I then followed up with a 1:9 mix of the Decon shampoo in my foam cannon and sprayed that all over the car, let it dwell for about 4 to 5 minutes. This did a great job at pre-washing the car and preparing it for a safe contact wash. For the contact wash, I again sprayed the car with the foam cannon mixture of the Decon shampoo, and then went on to clean it using my wash mitt, which I rinsed in a clean bucket of water after every panel. This is a very well lubricated shampoo, so it does really reduce the risk of marring throughout the wash process, but it isn't something that I would use on a regular maintenance wash, as it is very strong and does have the ability to degrade wax and sealants, so I like to use it ahead of doing a proper chemical or physical decontamination of the car to really prepare it for the subsequent steps. Once I'd contact washed the car, I gave it a dry and then went in with the high definition detail iron fallout remover, and this is the trade version of the product. Now, since I wash the car very often and it isn't stored anywhere where you'd expect iron fallout, for example near a railway line, by the side of the road or any kind of industry, it really doesn't accumulate that much iron fallout, so there wasn't anything really exciting to show you unfortunately at this stage. I fully inspected the car for tar spots, but there weren't any on the vehicle, so I didn't need to use a separate chemical here, and instead I could just skip on straight to the claying process. I used the Built Hamber soft clay, which is their least aggressive option, as again there's very little contamination on this car and I just wanted something that was going to cause as little marring as possible. To lubricate the clay bar, I went in with the 1:20 mix of the Garage Therapy Decon shampoo in the IK sprayer, and this pairing worked really well. So after claying each section, I rinsed that down before moving on to the next one to avoid the product drying out. I then quickly dried off the windscreen and then gave it a polish with CarPro Ceriglass in order to prepare it for the protection that I was going to apply later in the video. The reason that I did this before drying off the entire car is that I wanted to go over it again with the Garage Therapy Decon shampoo in order to remove any residue from the previous stage. So once I had done this step, I did go over the entire vehicle again with a fresh mitt to make sure I'd removed any residue from the previous stages. The next step was to machine polish the paintwork, and the combination that I went for here was the Last Details finishing polish and also a white chemical guise pad. This is a mild combination, which was perfect for this car because the paintwork really is quite soft and there was very little damage to actually remove. All I was really dealing with here was some marring from the clay bar. As you'll notice, I am machine polishing the car outside, and in an ideal world I wouldn't be doing this and I'd be doing it in an indoor space. So there were some precautions I had to take to avoid dust accumulation on the car. Firstly, I made sure to pick a really still day, so there was basically no wind at all. The forecast predicted an easterly wind of about 3 miles per hour, so I did also make sure to park the car up so it was blocking that direction, just in case I got an occasional gust. I also dampened the ground just using the garden hose in order to control any dust from there. So after each panel I did wipe it down with the Garage Therapy panel wipe. However, after I'd machine polished the entire car, I again went in with the panel wipe solution and went round the car twice actually in order to remove any polishing oils and make sure the surface was prepped for the coating. I also waited for about 15 to 20 minutes after using the panel wipe solution to ensure it had properly flashed off before using the coating. So the coating that I applied to this car was Garage Therapy Cerberus, and I have to say first off the bat that it's probably the nicest packaging and presentation that I have seen of any detailing products that I've tried. This is a 3-year coating which is performing exceptionally well so far, so I am really impressed with it. In terms of the application process, it was a straightforward procedure. I applied it using a crosshatch pattern, and then found that it took about 1 minute to see that rainbow effect, indicating that the coating had flashed and was ready to be wiped. It was really easy to see this rainbow effect happening, but pretty difficult for my camera to pick up, unfortunately. I used one microfiber towel to level the coating, a second to buff off most of the residue that was remaining, and then a third cloth just to very, very lightly go over the surface to make sure that there were absolutely no high spots at all. With each cloth I used very light pressure to try and get a nice even layer of the coating. To get the best performance out of this coating, it's recommended to do 2 layers, so I went in with that second layer an hour after applying the first. Now again, I am applying this coating outside, which isn't really an ideal situation, so again I took the precautions that I mentioned in the polishing stage to prevent as much dust accumulation as possible, and I also had the car dryer on hand to contactlessly remove any dust or debris that might settle on the panel. I also had to be conscious of other environmental conditions like the temperature and humidity. Now I applied this when it was about 15 degrees and it was about 60 to 65% humidity, so pretty good conditions to be applying it. Now this particular coating is advised to be kept dry for 24 hours after application, which of course in the British weather isn't that easy to guarantee. Fortunately the weather forecast didn't let me down, but in order to increase the likelihood of it staying dry after I applied the coating, I did pick a day where it wasn't forecast to rain for several days after applying the coating, just in case that forecast wasn't quite accurate, and some rain arrived earlier than expected. In order to protect the glass, I went for Soft99 Glaco DX coating, which is really easy to apply using the built-in applicator and buffs off easily after about 5 to 10 minutes using a damp microfiber towel. Compared to Ultra Glaco, which is a very popular product, this sheets water a tiny bit faster, so there's more chance of beads rolling off the windscreen when it's raining at lower speeds, but it isn't quite as durable by comparison. Now, Soft99 say that it has a durability claim of about 4 months. Personally, I've had longer than this on 2 cars now, and I've had about 5 months without applying any top-up protection. So I plan to maintain this with their hydrophobic Glaco cleaner, so I am expecting to get pretty good durability out of this. I also took this opportunity to top up the protection on the wheels using Garage Therapy Chimera top coat. As I mentioned previously, I currently have their Hades wheel coating on my alloys, and this is performing incredibly well, but in order to maintain and keep that consistent performance, it is recommended to apply the top coat. Again, this was very easy to use and follow the same steps as I did with the paintwork. You can actually use this as a standalone product on the wheels or the paintwork, where it offers about 12 months of durability, or you can use it to maintain their longer term coatings. So I will be using this later down the line to maintain Cerberus as well. The black plastic trim on my car wasn't looking all that faded, but I thought whilst I'm here I might as well protect that using something heavy duty as well. So I went for the Horticulture Trim Restorer, which is designed to offer between 1 and 2 years worth of durability. This is very straightforward product to apply and it took me no time at all to go around the car with it. It's really easy to get a nice even finish and it really doesn't have a tendency to cause any streaks. It is recommended to give it a quick wipe with a microfiber towel about 1 to 2 minutes after application, which I did as a precaution, but the product seems to level itself out on its own really. On the tyres, I went for a long-term favourite of mine, which is the Garage Therapy Tyre Serum. This has really good durability, particularly if you apply it on multiple occasions and build up a really good base layer of it. These Pilot Sport tyres are a little bit awkward to dress as they have a velvet texture on the sidewall, so it does take a little bit longer for the dressing to be absorbed, but once dried it leaves a really nice satin finish which I think complements these tyres perfectly.